Typical. Oh. Woo. That's better. Boys, we have got ourselves the world's first CADDY R. Yes, I'm saying it. And it took a lot to get to this point.
In the last video, we had no brakes, so I
Now
had to swap out the master cylinder.
So
that still didn't solve the problem,
and
I realised that I was a donut because I had the rear calipers fitted upside down. With that sorted, I confirmed that the van had brakes before moving to the interior, where I transformed the headlining from this into this. Golf R roof lights, front and rear, in a caddy. Sick.
If you haven't seen that video, go check it out right now. It's very, very interesting. And I'm gonna show you in a minute why I'm so excited to get that. Not only am I retaining this little pouch for storing sunglasses, etc., etc., all the lights are working from the Golf R side of things. I need to go ahead and fit this. This is the mirror for the Golf R. That's gonna go on. That's another piece for it. And this is what's important. Have a look here. This is the rain light sensor that's gonna go there. But I need to find a way of removing this old holder, I don't even know what this is called, from the Caddy windscreen. And I need to find a way of clearing out some of this black stuff. It's gonna be a headache, but I'm determined to get it done. That's the holder for this sensor. So all of this has got to get glued on there, get the sensor in, get that all clipped up, and the rain light sensor should be fully working with everything else on the van. In this unit as well is the interior monitor sensors, and I'll show you them in action. I'm gonna lock the CADDY R with the R key, watch this. And if I come around to the side, there you go. And that's proof, the interior monitor sensors are working. And that's just one of the many reasons why I've done that, but I just wanted to show you guys that.
Next, I'm moving on to the door cards. I'm trying to create some sort of a hybrid door card, a mixture between the Golf and Caddy door cards to create a one-of-one hybrid door card, and I'll explain exactly why I'm doing this later on.
So guys, I've come up with this ingenious way, a blade and a pliers. If I mess this up, I'm gonna, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Have a look at that. I've caused a little bit of damage to the windscreen, but it's nothing that I'm too worried about. I'm not fussed. You gotta keep it moving. So guys, this is the new rear view mirror assembly, and that's the sensor that's gonna go in like so. Now I'm assembling it because I need to do the measurements from this point to this point, so I know how far down I need to mount it. But once it's all mounted, it should look kind of like that, and I'm hoping that it's going to cover the damage that we done earlier on, just like so. So if I can get that in place, I'll be happy. Plug it all up and it should be working.
So I picked up this glass gluing kit from BMW. It comes with the glass activator or primer. This preps the surface of the glass to take the glue, and I'm just repeating the same process as VW would have done in the factory. I'm just going to fit that in place, leave it to set, and now I can continue with the door cards.
So with the Caddy door cards trimmed out, this is what it looks like. This is the Golf R door card. I want to retain these ambient lights, these connectors. If you remember, I've changed the entire loom, so I need to get the window switches for the Golf to work. And the way I want to do that is if I can just cut the inners of this door card and somehow make it work. And speaking of making it work, here is my prototype that I done earlier. This is the driver's side. As you can see, it's a complete custom piece and it should look similar to this. So that is the plan. I need to do a little bit more work, well, a lot more work to try to get this all working. But as you can see, I'll be utilizing all the connectors, all the switches, clips, the lot. So guys, there's still a ton of work we need to do on the interior of this van. However, we've been building a CADDY R for a while. We had no brakes in the last few episodes, so I couldn't drive it. Now we've got brakes. Let's go drive it, and I want to give you the CADDY R experience. Ooh. Listen to that, man, like from a Caddy. Boys, we are driving in the CADDY R. Have a look at that, brakes are working fine.
that, this build is starting to come together. We're gonna have the practicality of a VW Caddy. Picking up parts, transporting larger items are gonna be a breeze, but we're gonna have the functionality and performance of a Golf R with all the luxuries, heated seats as part of the interior overhaul. And as you can see, the new R rear view mirror with the rain light sensor has been fitted, and this will allow me to fit my custom one-of-one LED adaptive headlights into this Caddy. Stay tuned to see how I'm gonna do all of that. It's coming in a future video. And now there's only one thing left to do.
So guys, after running the Caddy R for the first time, giving it a proper blitz, it's boosting fine, everything is all good. However, as soon as I pulled up, I saw a warning sign for the gearbox and I thought, oh my God, why, what's next? It's like this car. So it turns out my gearbox is good. It's nothing to do with the gearbox, but I've done a scan and it turns out I've got an issue with running the rear ABS sensors for the Caddy. It's not compatible with the newer version that I found on the Golf R. So in the gearbox, it doesn't know the actual wheel speed. So that's something that I need to sort out. Obviously, that's not going to be an issue once I do the all-wheel drive conversion and I can run the rear axle from the Golf R. Everything should tally up then. At the moment, I've got the front axle left and right from the Golf R, rear axle is from the Caddy, and it's not happy. So that is yet another issue that I need to overcome, but it's small in the grand scale of things. Next up, I want to move on to a bit of wiring. Well, a ton of wiring. And it's going to be headache unless I've got the correct tools to identify which wires I need to connect, which wires I need to cut. And to make it easier, I'm using this bad boy. Today's video sponsors hooked up this build with the VW Tool V500 Pro, and I'm excited to open up this box and see what's inside because I love wiring, and this thing has got a built-in multimeter. It can check for breakages, it can check for plus and negative. There's so much, so let's open it up and see what I'm talking about. Ew, nice protective box there. I'm liking the look of this already. Open this up. Look at the size of these wires, man. It's got a nice fat digital screen. Anyone that's in the wiring business, if you wire any cars, trust me, you need to get one of these. Look how thick and robust this thing looks. You've got the connector for the probes. It's got some light so that if you're probing anything, you're gonna get to see exactly what you're doing. And this thing is just, it just feels good, man. So I'm gonna hook this up and get started. If you wanna grab one of these bad boys, there will be a link down in the description. Click it, you can pick up one of these. But for now, let's see it in action. Take a look at this thing. I love technology. I love when I get a new tool. And this thing is so big and robust, but I'm not gonna harp on. If you look right here, right? This is the connector from the Golf Loom that I've retrofitted into this Caddy, and this plugs into the rear LED lights on the Golf. However, these are the wires that I cut for the rear lights right here from the Caddy. I need to figure out which one is earth, which one is positive, which one is the indicator, reverse light, etc, etc. So I can use this probe to probe and test each individual wire, and once I figure out what is what, I'll do the same with this side, and then I can make the connection and hopefully integrate this connector for the Caddy lights into the Golf R Loom. So I'm just confirming that I've actually got power coming here, and this is how it would sit in the Golf. As you can see, I've turned the headlights on. These are your standing lights. So we've got power coming to this plug. Now that I know that is there, use my probe.
And I'm changing it to the correct setting. Once in probe mode, I can deliver a 12 volt or a negative charge to each individual wire, as you can see here. I identified the earth wire and I wanted to give a constant ground, which this probe can deliver as well. And as soon as I give a 12 volt, you can see each corresponding bulb is illuminating. I then realized that the connector for the shark fin antenna for the GPS was slightly too short, so I picked up a little extension and it worked a treat. So I think that was a result. However, we've got a minor issue. So with this door card off the door, it looked like everything was lining up perfectly, but now that I'm trying to fit it onto the door, as you can see here, something is touching, and that's the speaker touching the internals of the door card, and it just had me completely bummed out.
Guys, this is doing my head in, so I've got a problem. To make it work, I'd have to cut half of this off, but then it means I'm gonna have a big gaping hole, it's just gonna look a bit weird, and I don't wanna take away from the Golf R aesthetic. This needs to go further back. Problem is, if I go further back, there's going to be an overlap right here, and right here is where that ambient light the actual bulb is on this end. If it was on this end, I could just cut it, no problem. But it's here, so this is the problem. I'm building the CADDY R, there's no blueprint. I haven't seen anyone do all of this before, so I'm just trying to figure it out as I go along. So, fingers crossed. I'm sure I'll crack it, but yeah, let's see. Let's get it in place, see where it needs to sit.
So it's back to the drawing board. I'm trying to trim as little as possible, trial and error, until it clears that speaker. So with some small adjustments, I was able to get it to fit in the position that I was happy with and is no longer touching on that speaker. Now the reason I'm going through all this trouble is because I want to retain the ambient lighting and all the features of a Golf R interior. After all, we are building a CADDY R, and with that completed, I'm copying the blueprint for the passenger side.
So on both the passenger and the driver's side, I've got the door cards looking and feeling exactly where I need it to be, but I need your help. What do you think is the best way of joining the old CADDY door card and the Golf R door card? They're both ABS plastic, I believe it's ABS, but they're both plastic. I was thinking maybe some plastic welding and then using some fiberglass filler to smooth it all out. But let me know, what do you think? If you're watching this and you're thinking, I know what I'll do, let me know in the comments down below. So guys, I'm gonna take a bit of a pause on the door cards right now because I'm about to destroy a perfectly good Golf R rear bumper, and it's a one-time thing, one shot. Mess this up, this bumper is going in the bin. But if I can pull it off, it's gonna transform the rear end on our CADDY R, and it's gonna look sick. I've seen the guy from DTE TV, he's done this many a times, but mainly on the front bumper. I will be doing a hybrid front bumper later on in the build, but anyway, watch this.
So after splitting the Golf R bumper, it's time to size it up on the CADDY rear bumper. I'm trying to get it as central as possible, so I asked my friend Ollie to come in and give me a hand. Here we are getting it all centralized. Now later on in the build, I will be shaving down the CADDY bumper to make sure that everything is molded correctly. But for now, I'm just using some self-tapping screws to hold it into place.
Hey, that's looking sick, lad.
Whilst we got to the sides, these little tabs were getting in the way, so we just had to shave them out, and this thing's actually shaping up to be looking like something special.
Boys, does that look like a CADDY R, or does it look like a CADDY R? What do you reckon?
It's gonna be a CADDY R.
Look at that! Damn, son! Let's go ahead and get it on the CADDY and see what it looks like. Guys, take a look at that rear end. I've said that a few times in my life, but take a look at that rear end. It's actually looking so sick. I may need to adjust the rear suspension because it's looking a little bit low, especially on this side. But by the time I fit that up where it's meant to go there, it's not going to be too low. But I'm really happy with the fitment. So later on, I will bond that up together, make it all smooth, and then we can move on. But I need your help. The loom for this car is expecting to see LED adaptive headlights from the Golf.
And here are the two headlights side by side. As you can see, the one on the left is from the Golf R, whereas this one is the regular halogen from the Caddy. Complete different shape, complete different technology. Once connected to the car, the original halogen does not work, as you can see here. However, the LED adaptive headlights from the Golf are working. I need to figure out a way of fitting all the components from the Golf headlight into a Caddy shell to hopefully create a set of one-of-one Caddy LED adaptive headlights. Now that will be sick.
It's going to be challenging. If you've got any ideas, let me know. The best idea is going to win because I need to figure something out. That's it. Every episode that goes by, we're getting closer and closer to completing this build. I've got a few more builds up my sleeve, and I'm going to be doing an overseas vlog. I'm going overseas to pick up a few cars. Stay tuned, subscribe, make sure your bells are on if you want to see what I'm on about. And to see you guys out, here is the official J Spades with the new Essen Anthem. I'll see you in the next one. Oh!
Behind the scenes, I've been hoarding tons of parts for my all-wheel drive swapped VW Scirocco, and it's time to add some boost to that R32 engine.
Then you take the nation, as I like to call it, salvation, salvation. Yo, this gonna take a lot of time, this gonna take patience. R8 or a Cullinan, paint where it need painting. At the finish line they've been waiting, cause I know their heart been racing. So welcome, 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 welcome to the nation. This gonna take a lot of time, this gonna take patience. R8 or a Cullinan, paint where it need painting. At the finish line they've been waiting, cause I know their heart been racing. So welcome, 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 welcome to the nation. 1.5 or a 2 liter, 5.7 or 2-seater, new exhaust with the new features.